Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Time to take a beverage of your choice, because today we are doing another edition of Frightful Fridays, where today I'm going to be reviewing Renfield. I had some time off yesterday, and the local theater pub down the street was playing Renfield. So I thought I'd go see it. Now, this is a movie that stars Nicholas Could, C-O-U-L-D, as the titular Renfield, Nicolas Cage as Dracula, and Aquafina as a driven policewoman who is out to, prove herself. So, just to let people know who don't know who Renfield is, you have Dracula. Yes, Count Dracula. In the book, you have Jonathan Harker going out to Transylvania to help Count Dracula buy property in certain parts of London. He is going there to replace another lawyer. I guess they had lawyers do it back then instead of real estate agents, who disappeared while he was out there by the name of Renfield. Well, we find out later in the book that Renfield is Dracula's servant. His, I can't remember the name, but, in the book, he is locked away for being, because Dracula is controlling him. So in this movie, and this is pretty much told through his eyes, you have Renfield, who's been, working for Dracula since the late, 1800s, whenever the book takes place, where he has to go out and procure food for Dracula. And, so goes out, gets people, brings them back. Dracula partakes. And then whenever they get to the point where the people realize that, hey, all these people are missing, they move, or if the bad guys catch up to him, Renfield has to help, and then they move to another place to avoid getting caught or drawing any more attention to themselves. In this one, they've just moved to New Orleans, and Dracula's in bad shape from having been almost taken out by members of the church a little while before. So it starts out with Renfield. He is in there's a little brief description of how he got into the thing, and he is in a support group for people who are in emotionally abusive relationships. And at first you're thinking he's there to get help, which he sort of is, but what he's doing is he's listening to the people in the group, and then he is going to get the abusers of the abused people and taking them out to have Dracula eat them. And it is kind of a horror movie, but it is a horror comedy in the same vein as Dale and Dale and whatever Fight Evil, because it's got a lot of horror elements to it, but it is just laugh out loud funny because excuse me, he gets into the situation where he's starting to develop a sense of self-worth now, and instead of being like, he's thinking, hey, wait a minute, this guy he's using me, and at first he thinks it's because he got rolled by Dracula's hypnotism, but then he has to question whether or not he's doing it willingly or not, and overcome the whole situation, fight him, and deal with with Aquafina's cop character and the other bad guys who are trying to deal with everything. Excuse me. And it is funnier than hell, violent as all get out, but it's funny violence, if you understand what I'm getting at. I mean, it's bloody as hell, but it's done comically, like someone ripping someone's arm off and all the blood spray that you have there, and then them using the arms to beat somebody with. And I don't know if you've heard the phrase, he kicked the shit out of somebody. This movie, you actually get to see someone get the shit kicked out of them. And that was probably one of the funniest scenes I had seen in a movie in a long time. I mean, the whole theater was erupting. So it's well done. It's not going to win any acting awards. I can tell you that much right now, because Nicolas Cage is being very, very Nicolas Cagey. Very Nicolas Cagey, and just going all out. Aquafina is nailing the comedy parts, but the dramatic scenes that she tries to do don't quite work. I mean, it's not like it's going to be like Sophie's Choice drama, but in the sense of, trying to have a little bit of a dramatic part to it. It doesn't quite work, but, they aren't, the whole movie's not taking itself seriously, so you don't need to worry about that too much. It's meant to just be funny, entertaining, and violent, and enjoyable, which it was. I am glad that I saw it. I mean, I wasn't sure what to expect when I went to saw it, went to see it, and I'm glad that I did, because it was worth seeing in the theater, which you don't need to do. I mean, I'm sure it'll be just as fun watching it on the big screen or something. But the energy of seeing it with a bunch of other people, helped. Excuse me. I have to say that I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And one thing that I did notice, that Robert Kirkman's name is attached. I think he's an executive producer, or he had something to do with this movie, which is probably why it's a lot better than I thought it would be. So, or better than I thought it would be. So I'm going to give this movie a 4.5 out of 5, and just sit there and say, hey, if you're looking for a good time, a good, funny, kind of scary, gory movie, pick it up, watch it, stream it, whatever. You'll have a good time. And so let me know whether or not you've seen it or not. Like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy your horror.